Hey, welcome back to the channel. And if this is your first time here, welcome, and let me tell you, you picked the absolute best time to show up. Because today we are talking about something that made the entire K-pop world go completely silent. Something that had fans crying tears of joy, and something that had haters doing what haters do best, quietly logging off. Have you heard? Jimin, Park Jimin of BTS, has just made history again in May 2026. And this is not your ordinary achievement. This is the kind of thing that makes people stop mid-scroll, read the headline twice, screenshot it, and blast it into every single group chat they have. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, because we are going to break down everything from start to finish. The official data, the world's reaction, the incredible journey of the brand king himself, and why this achievement is so much bigger than what it looks like on the surface. Ready? Let's go? Before we dive into the numbers that are going to make your jaw drop, let's make sure we all understand what the brand reputation ranking actually is, because this is important context. Every single month, the Korea Corporate Reputation Research Institute, one of South Korea's most respected market research bodies, conducts a massive analysis using big data. They collect data from literally hundreds of millions of data points across every major online platform. Web searches, social media, news portals, fan communities, streaming platforms, and so much more. That data is then analyzed across 4 key indices. The first is the participation index. This measures how actively people are engaging with an idol's brand. Are people clicking, searching, and actively seeking out content about that idol? The second is the media index. This covers how much media coverage an idol is receiving. Are they appearing in news articles, magazines, TV programs, entertainment portals? The third is the communication index. This tracks how many people are talking about an idol online, whether on Twitter and X, Instagram, Naver communities, Dom, and every other platform in between. And the fourth is the community index. This measures the strength and activity of an idol's fan community. How engaged are the fans? How loud is the conversation? These 4 indices are combined to produce one final number, the brand reputation index. The higher that number, the stronger an idol's brand power in the public eye and in the marketplace. And for May 2026, Jimin and BTS recorded something that genuinely shocked everyone who follows these rankings. But hold on, we need to look at the full picture first, so you can truly understand just how monumental this is. Alright, let's get into the official data. In May 2026, the Korea Company Reputation Research Institute announced the results of the brand reputation rankings for idol groups. And the results? BTS, the group where Jimin serves as one of the most powerful driving forces, claimed first place with a brand reputation index of 10,608,366. That number is extraordinary on its own, but the context makes it even more stunning. IVE came in second place with an index of 5,538,659. Blackpink followed in third with 5,121,648. Let that sink in for a second. BTS scored a brand reputation index nearly twice as high as the runner-up. That's not just winning. That is absolute, total domination. Now let's break down BTS's numbers in more detail. Their participation index came in at 226,772. Their media index hit 747,039. Their communication index reached 2,278,666. And their community index? A staggering 7,355,889. Look at that community index, over 7.3 million. That is a direct reflection of just how massive and active the global ARMY community truly is. Every single day, millions of fans are talking about BTS, sharing content, keeping the group's name alive, and burning across the entire internet. That does not happen by accident. That is the result of a bond between an artist and their fan base that is unlike anything else in the music industry. And what were the most frequently appearing keywords in BTS's May 2026 brand analysis? ARMY, Mexico Concert, and Ararang. These are not random words. These are windows into the raw, electric energy that BTS is generating right now as they take their world tour from city to city, country to country. Koo Chang-hwan, the director of the Korea Company Reputation Research Institute, stated that the BTS brand scored highly in link analysis for words like singing along, performing, and setting records. And the positive to negative sentiment ratio for BTS this month reached a breathtaking 95.53% positive. Read that again. Nearly 96% of all online conversations about BTS in May 2026 were positive. For a group that has been in the spotlight for over a decade, facing every kind of scrutiny imaginable, that number is almost unreal. It speaks to a level of goodwill and genuine love from the public that very few artists in history have ever managed to maintain. Now let's talk about the real star of today's video, Park Jimin himself. To truly grasp what Jimin has accomplished in May 2026, we have to look at where this journey began, because none of this happened overnight. This is the result of years of unmatched consistency that no one else in the K-pop industry has come close to replicating. Let's walk through the timeline. In January 2026, Jimin topped the individual idol brand reputation rankings. That means all idols, male and female combined, with a brand reputation index of 8,780,962. At that point, it made him the first and only idol in history to have claimed the top spot for a total of 31 months. And he achieved that index during the height of anticipation for BTS's comeback, with his fans passionately driving up every single metric. Then in February 2026, Jimin reclaimed first place in the individual boy group brand reputation rankings with an index of 5,369,144, representing a 29.62% increase from January. With that result, his total record extended to an astonishing 57 months at number 1 overall, with 35 consecutive months as the top-ranked boy group member. He is the only idol in K-pop history to have achieved either of those numbers. His positive sentiment ratio for that month stood at 92.94%. The keywords dominating his analysis were ARMY, WHO, and Arirang, a clear reflection of the world's massive anticipation for the BTS comeback. Other BTS members ranked high as well, with Jungkook in second place and Jimin in third, but the spotlight firmly belonged to Jimin. In April 2026, the landscape shifted slightly. 101's Park Ji-hoon received an enormous boost from the excitement surrounding the 101 reunion concert and temporarily claimed the top spot. Jimin slipped to second place. But let's be clear about what second place means in this context. Out of approximately 755 boy group idols being tracked, Jimin still ranked second. That is not a fall from grace. That is still extraordinary. And here is where May 2026 becomes something truly special. Because right in the middle of the BTS Arirang World Tour, with spectacular performances happening across multiple continents, Jimin's name once again shook every chart and ranking it could reach. The global K-pop idol voting app idoki revealed that Jimin claimed first place in the April Male Idol ranking for the 4th consecutive month, bringing his total to 22 months at the top of that platform. To celebrate his February ranking victory, a reward advertisement was broadcast in April at the digital Shiny station at Hongdae Station on the Airport Railroad. The reward for his March ranking is scheduled to air on May 9th at the digital canvas at Seoul Myeongdong Station. And the reward for his April win is being displayed across multiple premium digital advertising locations throughout Seoul, including at the Lotte World Mall Media Chandelier in June, lighting up the heart of the city with fan love made visible. On top of all of that, Jimin was in the process of completing the North American leg of the BTS Arirang World Tour, with performances in Mexico City on May 8th, 10, and 11 that became a global trending topic. Thousands of armies from every corner of the world traveled to Mexico City just to see BTS live, and Jimin was at the center of every viral clip, every emotional fan account, every highlight reel that flooded social media in the aftermath. Now, to fully understand why Jimin's brand reputation achievements in May 2026 are so historically significant, we need to talk about the BTS Arirang World Tour, the enormous backdrop against which all of this is happening. The BTS Arirang World Tour is BTS's 6th concert tour, and it is unlike anything that has come before it. This is the group's triumphant return to the world stage after all 7 members completed their mandatory military service. a reunion that fans have waited years for, and that the entire music industry has been watching with anticipation. The tour kicked off on April 9th, 2026, in Goyang, South Korea, and is scheduled to continue all the way through 2027. Bloomberg News had previously reported that this would be BTS's largest world tour to date. The scope? More than 85 shows across 34 cities in 23 countries. When tickets went on sale for South Korea, North America, and Europe, every single date sold out within hours of going live. Not days, hours. The tour is supported by BTS's fifth studio album, Erarang, which was released on March 20th, 2026. The 14-track project was crafted with contributions from all 7 members, with themes of gratitude, personal growth, and a deep connection to their Korean roots. Pre-saves for the album on Spotify surpassed 3.45 million before it even dropped, a jaw-dropping number that reflects the scale of global anticipation. To mark the release, BTS hosted a comeback event at Gwangwon Square in Seoul on March 21st, which was live-streamed globally on Netflix. A documentary titled BTS: The Return, directed by Baung Gwin, also premiered on Netflix on March 27th. In May 2026, BTS was right in the thick of the Latin American leg of the tour, with the Mexico City performances drawing some of the most passionate crowds and generating some of the most viral moments of the entire tour. Reports from Mexican media described BTS's arrival as a cultural marketing phenomenon that temporarily transformed Mexico City into what they called a world leader in cultural energy. And the keywords that kept coming up in BTS's brand data: Mexico concert, Erarang, singing along, setting records, tell you everything you need to know about the kind of impact these shows were having. In every city BTS visited, the clips that went most viral, the moments that sparked the most conversation, the performances that generated the most replays, so many of them featured Jimin. His stage presence, his expressiveness, his magnetic energy, all of it acted as a gravitational pull for global attention. And that attention translated directly into brand reputation data in a very real and measurable way. Now, I want to address something honestly, because some of you might be thinking, wait, isn't it BTS the group that ranked first in May, not Jimin individually? And that is a completely fair and reasonable question. So let me explain exactly why this is still Jimin's moment, and why the picture here is bigger than any single data point. First, the brand reputation rankings come in 2 formats: group rankings and individual rankings. For May 2026, the available official data covers the group rankings, and BTS dominated them completely. The individual rankings for May are anticipated separately, but Jimin's track record speaks for itself. Second, look at the consistency. From January through March 2026, Jimin held the top spot every single month in the individual rankings. In April, he moved to second because of a specific, temporary boost tied to the 101 reunion. In a field of 755 boy group idols, finishing second in any month is still a staggering achievement. Third, and this is the most important point, in the May 2026 brand analysis for BTS as a group, the keywords that appeared most prominently were Mexico concert and Erarang. And if you have been following along with what happened at those concerts, you know exactly whose name was attached to the most talked about moments. Jimin's videos were trending everywhere. His performances were the highlights in every recap and review. Fourth, the IDOKI data is impossible to ignore. 22 total months at the top of the global male idol ranking, including 4 consecutive months from February through May 2026. The consistency of that record is not accidental. It is the expression of a fan base that is more active, more organized, and more passionately dedicated than almost anything else in the idol industry. Fifth, consider the sentiment numbers. In February, Jimin's positive sentiment ratio was 92.94%. For BTS as a group in May, that number climbed to 95.53%. In an era of internet drama and manufactured controversies, the near-total absence of negativity surrounding Jimin and BTS right now is genuinely remarkable. It reflects something real, a relationship between artist and audience built on years of trust, consistency, and authentic connection. So yes, this is bigger than just one number on a chart. This is a reflection of something deeper, public trust, genuine love, and the very real impact that one artist can have on global culture. When these announcements went public, social media absolutely exploded. On X, formerly Twitter, hashtags like #Jimin, #RecordMakerJimin, and the Korean tags celebrating his brand reputation victories immediately trended across multiple countries simultaneously. Fans from every corner of the world flooded timelines with messages of love and admiration. One of the most widely shared tweets read something like this: "The world could literally be ending and Jimin would still be trending online and topping the brand reputation chart." And honestly, that fan was not wrong. What made the response particularly remarkable was how broad it was. Not just ARMY, who are always there and always passionate, but also K-pop industry observers, brand analysts, journalists, and even mainstream media outlets who acknowledge that Jimin's ability to maintain this level of brand dominance and cultural relevance over such an extended period of time is something that simply has no real precedent in the K-pop industry. Major K-pop media platforms including Okpop, Sportskeeda, Soap Central, and Star News Korea all gave these achievements significant coverage. And in Korea itself, fans put their money where their hearts are, literally. They pooled together funds, designed reward advertisements, and purchased premium digital advertising spots in some of the most high-traffic, high-visibility locations in all of Seoul. From Hongdae to Myeongdong to the Lotte World Mall media chandelier, Jimin's name and face lit up the Korean capital as fans celebrated in the most visible way possible. Think about what that means. Fans organizing, fundraising, designing, purchasing, all just to send a message of congratulations to the person they love and admire. This is not just a fan base. This is a community with genuine power, emotional, creative, and economic. And what makes Jimin's side of this equation so compelling is how he responds to all of it. Not with ego, not with indifference, but with more work, more dedication, more presence on stage, more heart poured into every single performance. People keep talking about him because he keeps giving them reasons to. That is not luck. That is character. So what comes next? What can we look forward to as this story continues to unfold? The BTS Arirang World Tour is still very much in motion, with a packed schedule that stretches into 2027. After Mexico City, BTS moved toward Las Vegas, where BTS The City Arirang is set to run from May 20th to May 31st, 2026. A full citywide immersive experience that will bring thousands of fans into the Las Vegas ecosystem. Busan follows in June, with a live viewing broadcast scheduled for June 13th. And more cities, more continents, and more record-breaking nights are still ahead. The single most anticipated event on the calendar right now is the FIFA World Cup final halftime show at New York, New Jersey Stadium on July 19th, 2026. BTS will co-headline that show alongside Madonna and Shakira. Let that sink in. The biggest sporting stage on the planet, shared with two of the most iconic names in global music history. And BTS is right there among them. For Jimin specifically, every new concert, every new viral performance moment, every new city that falls in love with him all over again, all of it feeds directly into the brand data. His presence is the kind that compounds. The more he performs, the more people talk. The more people talk, the higher the indices climb. And the higher the indices climb, the more records get broken. If history is the best guide we have, then we already know what happens next. Jimin will keep breaking records. Records that we have not even imagined yet. And the world will keep watching. Friends, we have covered a lot of ground today. The brand reputation data, Jimin's extraordinary record-breaking journey, the epic context of the Arirang World Tour, and the worldwide reaction that followed. But when you strip away all the numbers and all the records, the thing that matters most is this. There is a human being named Park Jimin who shows up every single day, works harder than almost anyone in his industry, performs with his entire heart and soul, and dedicates himself completely to his art and to the people who love him. The world sees that. The world values that. And the world celebrates that. Records can be broken. Charts can fluctuate. But the kind of real, lasting impact that makes people smile, cry, feel connected, and feel seen, that cannot be captured by any index. That lives in people. And that is where Jimin has always truly lived. So to Jimin, and to BTS, thank you for reminding the world that hard work, consistency, and genuine love always find their way into people's hearts. And that's a wrap for today. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please hit that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update from this channel. I want to hear from you in the comments. What record do you think Jimin will break next this year? Drop your predictions down below. I genuinely cannot wait to read them. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bodai. Purple Heart.